Guys, CPD2 addict. Woo! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Battery service. It's that time of year. You know, January is definitely, I think, National Jump Starter Month. December, not so bad, but it does have some cold days. But so that means you've got exactly 60 days to have yourself prepared. Snap-on's got a battery service flyer out, so I thought we'd talk about battery service stuff. And, just go through this little bad boy here and talk about some do's, don'ts, and things that I experience. Well, go ahead and get your cold drinks, grab some popcorn, let's get after it. Come on! Alright, so here we go. We've got the first thing here, but it looks like we have some Clore Automotive, and by God, 1224 is specifically 1224 jump pack. $832 for the JNC rebrand Blue Point. Holy smokes. Boy, someone needs to tell me how they pull that off. I'd really like to know. We probably should go over to Amazon and just check out some JNC jump packs real quick, shall we? Well, we shall. Alright, so we have the 660 for $143. And there's the 770 for $169. There's the 1224 for $411.96, which is the identical one to the Snap-on. So double the price. I'll leave a link in the description for any of these in case you're interested. But I have ran the 770 and the 660, which they are up on price now. They used to be about $100. They went up about $43, but my 660 is definitely the hammer of the bunch as far as jump packs. It's just a fantastic jump pack, and that's the 12 volt there, 405. I'm guessing that's the same thing. That's probably the 770, it looks like to me. So $169 versus $405 for the Blue Point version. Pretty crazy. Insane. We got the Engine Starter Plus with AGM EEJP 700A, which is, I think, a Schumacher brand, rebrand. And then, of course, we have the battery charging station, which I always say a roller battery charger is definitely important to have. Solar or Schumacher are probably the two best brands out there to get aftermarket-wise. I usually don't like Blue Point stuff, so, it is what it is. And we have some more Clore rebranded stuff here. $306.95 solar. Those are solars. And that flash, 100 amp flash, is also a Clore Automotive, and those things are $600, $1,000 for them off the Snap-on truck. Now, Benchtop Charger Plus came out last year is $353 for the EEBC. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Guys really like those from Snap-on. Whether or not those are worth the price, but I would say those are probably the best bang for your buck on this. Now, I know when I'm saying that very conservatively when I say that. 12 volt lithium ion compact. I have heard some bad stories about that. I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. My favorite jump pack right now is the Locathor. I do have a video coming out about that. These aftermarket jump packs have really stepped up their game, and I think this is one of those deals where tool companies just don't have an edge at all in this category. So it's really important for me. I was just comparing this in this flyer. I know it's not the greatest thing, but there's going to be a few people that will probably benefit from this video, hopefully. As long as I can help some people out. I don't care if it's one person. That's all that really matters to me. Just sharing some information. The jump packs to get nowadays are honestly, to be completely frank, even a Noco is better than spending the money on the tool trucks, unless you get a smoking deal. Like, if you're going to get one of these Blue Points, and there's some reason they get them down to where, they're closer to the list price of $411 for the 1224, which is a phenomenal jump pack. I know for a fact Matt over at Diesel Creek loves his 1224 JNC, uses it all the time in his videos, and he specifically asked me what I would get, and I told him, I gave him my opinion. I said, listen, 1224 is what all the heavy equipment guys around here run, because They last. The thing about them is even though they're not the new hotness of battery jump packs where you're going to get your fancy cutoffs and reverse switch, most of those heavy equipment guys don't need that kind of stuff. They just need raw power. Raw, stinking, nasty power to turn over those diesels in the wintertime. So, it's just good stuff, good things to have. And then memory saver, that's definitely something you want to have. Blue Point, $48. Definitely not terrible on there. Now, we get into battery system testers. Now, the Snap-ons are really nice. I don't really understand how they put a load on these systems without any carbon piling. There is a little bit of a trick as far as some of these. Some of these work good, and without testing these, the 6812 enhanced battery system, 706, 426, you can get fooled on some of these electronic testers for batteries. Cold cranking amps and loaded cold cranking amps are two totally different things. You can have a battery hold 12 volts, and I'm sure a lot of you know that as far as mechanics go. And some of you, like myself, have been duped in the past, and that's why we learned from our mistakes, because we may have tested something and didn't put enough load on it. Like I have, in fact, my truck battery right now, I'm planning on doing a video. My truck battery right now does not have any cold cranking amps left in it. It's about 6.5 years old. It's holding juice and it'll hold power, but it will not crank under a heavy load because it's lost its depth and charge or cold cranking amp abilities. So it'll hold power, it'll hold voltage, but it won't hold a loaded voltage. That's where I'm coming at with this. But anyways, and then the digital clamp-on meter. What is that? $576. You got to be out of your freaking mind. Wireless printer, $522. Then we move into some cordless tools and some bank battery chargers. $401 for the Blue Point 12 volt bank 4 battery charger. We have a 14 volt for micro lithium underhood light. A lot of guys love those. $281, marginally expensive, but there's a lot of people that like them because they're a good light. We have the 14.4 hex, 200 inch-pounds of torque, $750 for the kit. And I know those do come down a little bit in price on tool trucks. They got deals on those all the time. We have the 1/4 inch drive ratchets, $434, and the CTR 861 for $540. 12 volt maintainer LiPo, $157. Moving right along, battery service tools. We have some Snap-on angle nose pliers for $55.50. We have the clamp pliers, which are actually really nice clamp pliers because they're not chintzy at all, but they're $98. We have a battery crimping tool, which definitely you have to have some sort of crimping apparatus to do battery cables. If you guys have ever been in that situation, you know. We have terminal cleaners for $36. Best to buy these in a kit. I will say that. $27.20 for the battery metal terminal cleaner, and then the plastic one. I recommend the plastic one. The metal ones tend to rust. I've had mine, and it kind of just fell apart. $24.50. The plastic ones do too when you use them a lot. Side terminal cleaners. I've never had great luck with using those side terminal cleaners. I'll be honest with you. The bristles seem to be a little bit too long, but I have used them. I do have one, and I use it a little bit. My 2-inch miniature stainless wire brush. That's probably a really good one to get right there. I think I have one of those for $6.85. Definitely worth the money there. We have anti-seize lubricant, $45.95. Battery hydrometer. If you haven't tested, sometimes that's a good way to test your battery too, to see if your voltage is low. When it does get low or it's low on water, that's exactly what happens is your battery will freeze and then you have no cranking amps, but you hold voltage. We got an oiler for $21.50. We got a wing drive nut socket. Those are super handy, believe it or not, especially if you're taking off coolant down on a radiator. Taking off one of those, believe it or not, that thing is useful. $52.50. That's one of those little sneaky tools that you like. Battery carrier, $54.25. Those are rebranded. I'll actually put a link for one I'll put a link for that exact same one, not Blue Point, in the description for those of you that don't have Snap-on guys or just want to buy one. I'll put in, there's two different kinds. This one I do prefer the best. The other one they have has like a little flexible handle on it. Not usually a big fan of that because it's top terminal only. They have some different ones, but that's my favorite one. It works really, really good. Battery GM side terminal tools. Those are Lang rebranded, actually, $27.75 and $24.50. And then the cable cutter, which is also nice for battery cutting the cables. Just cut them right off. Don't even try to strip them. Just cut them and then strip them. $75.75. Moving right along here, we've got an apron, which is also really nice, chemical resistant, and $21. Believe you me, I used to use a shop apron all the time. I still have one, believe it or not, and I do really like them. Especially, let me tell you a little tech tip here, guys. If you're one of those guys who goes to church in the morning, I used to use mine before I'd go to church in the morning all the time. If I had to do something, you could usually put your apron on, and you could check your oil in your car, whatnot. If you got your clean clothes on, it's nice to have an apron. And it's really nice to be able to put that on and not get yourself dirty, especially if you're leaning over something. I'm always getting dirty. No matter what I do, I could be standing in the middle of a field, sun shining, and somehow I'll get dirty. That's just, it is what it is. The truck-mounted battery booster kit system, $3.89. Those are kind of going by the wayside. You don't see those very much. Heavy-duty 20-foot cables, $2.36. I do not like these start engine safety switches. I've had problems with them. $116.25. I've heard that they're made by a company that they put the handles on for Snap-on, and it's the same as OTC. But I haven't had good luck with. I had one of those before. I bought an OTC one, and the OTC one 10 times better. We've got the USB device for your 14.4 batteries. Obviously, that is $98. Wow. We got impact gloves, $64.75. Safety glasses, $23. We got some socket organization. Now, these are always handy. Once again, the thick fatigue floor mats, $267. You wowzers. And then we have the 150/25 for the. We got 36 by 24 for $267, and 22 by 18 is $150/25. Plier organizers. I do have a lot of guys that do like these Snap-on ones. They're $26.95, pretty decent, lifetime guaranteed. I've always said these 3-row socket trays are the best to buy because Snap-on warranties those. My guy, at least, warranties those with no questions asked. $40, $43, and $49 for your quarter, 3/8, and half-inch drive. And Extreme Green is pretty popular, and I haven't had any complaints about my Snap-on one. Actually, I broke one off the Snap-on guy, replaced it right away. 6-piece organizer, $193.95. We have a high-power magnetic mat for $105. Tools not included. That's the mat, $185.95. Whew, stankin'. Anyways, guys, that's the video for the year. In case you want to quote, do not correct a fool, or he will hate you. Correct a wise man, and he will appreciate you. That's your little tech tip of the day there. Anyways, guys, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that bell. Remember, keep your hands dirty and your money clean. Thanks for watching.